Yo, what did your guru say about market structure? Oh, good. Yeah, I know you've heard a lot about market structure, the different type of market structure, the trends, and you know a lot of it when it comes to definition. Now, today I'm here to show you something very simple and in its best form. I want to explain to you what market structure is, the logic behind market structure, and how to capitalize on it. Now, I need you to sit back, relax, right? I need you to come with an open mind, follow me on what I'm about showing you, and let's capitalize on the logic and the application of market structure. Follow me while we have fun and we learn. Thank you. Like I said, let's have fun while we learn. So today I'll be talking about structure, and this time around, I'm not just going to give you the definition of, I'm not going to bore you with everything you've already know. I'm just going to go straight to how you can apply structure and how you can capitalize on it. So when it comes to structure, I need you to understand that the market structure is one of the most important. I'm not going to say the overall, what's it called? I'm not going to say it's the number one important thing about technical analysis, but then I want you to know that it's one of the key elements or one of the most important things when it comes to technical analysis. Why do I say this? Now, structure tells you everything, the components of market behavior itself. What do I mean? It tells you the direction, tells you what the market is doing per time. Now, when we talk about this, I need you to relate it to a real life example. Say, for example, you visit the hospital now. The first thing your doctor tries to do is what? To know what problem or the challenges you have with your system. When you go to the hospital, the first thing they want to do is to do what? To carry out your vitals, or they check, what's it called? They check your system, your doctor diagnose you to know what is wrong with you. First thing you try to do, you try to ask questions. How do you feel? How are you feeling in your system? It has to basic questions. Why is it doing this? Of course, you want to know what exactly is going on in your system. And that's the same thing when it comes to trading itself. Without you knowing what is going on in the market, without you having a good understanding of how the market is behaving, it is very, very difficult, or in most cases, it is very impossible, right, for you to be able to do anything meaningful in the market. So when we talk about structure, we're talking about overall behavior of price in in the market. So now, in this case, like I said, I'm not going to bore you with too many noise or too many talks about what you already know. I'm just going to delve on two aspects of structure, which is what? The major and the minor structure. Now, when we talk about the major structure, we're talking about the overall direction of market movement itself. Oh, we're talking about what price is doing, right, on the higher time frame. Now, what do I mean by this? For me, I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm a day trader, so basically I want to open my trade, right, and close most probably within the shortest period of time. In most cases within a day. So what do? Most of my analysis, I start from the daily. I'm using the daily time frame to frame what? My major structure. Now, why the minor structure, right, is where we try to get an entry. Now, it's just like when I tell you, oh, I need you to come from Lagos to Abuja, right? So for those who are in Africa, for those who are outside of Africa, like Lagos is a part of Nigeria, Abuja is the federal capital of Nigeria as a whole. So for example, I tell you, oh, drive down from Lagos to Abuja. The question is, where are you going when you get to Abuja? It is very, The information is useful, but then it is not into detail when I tell you, okay, just drive from Lagos to Abuja. The next question you want to ask yourself, okay, when I get to Abuja, what do I do in Abuja? Right, so you want to know, where do I stop in Abuja? The overall direction, the overall journey you have is to move from Lagos to Abuja, which is the major structure, right? Now, the minor structure tells you, where do you go to when you get to Abuja? Oh, you get to Abuja, take it point A to B, and then when you get to point B, take a direction from point B to C, and then you see me there. Now, the minor structure tells you how to capitalize on your entry. Is that taking? Now, let me just show you the basic difference between the major structure and the minor structure. Then we'll dive into our chart, we'll get good example, and see how you can make use of this. Follow me. So now, like I said, our focus is on two major things, which is the major and the minor structure. Now, what's the major structure? Like I said, the major structure talks about the higher time frame of market behavior. For example, I'm using the daily in my own case. Now, while the minor structure talks about what? The lower time frame. Now, in this case, for me personally, I use the 4 hours and 1 hour time frame as my own style. You don't need to worry. With time, you get to know why and how I use this thing. Now, secondly, like I said, the major structure is used for us to frame our bias. What do I mean by this? It is good we know If we know that today, okay, let me ask you now, how do you realize that you're hungry? Probably you feel some discomfort in your system or in your tummy, then you know you need food. The question is, what quantity are you going to eat? If you don't know you need food, there's no how you're going to even know that you need a certain quantity to, what's it called? To satisfy yourself. So now you're going to picture it that, okay, that signal that is being sent into your brain that, oh, I need food. I think I'm hungry, right? That's going to be your major structure, right? Now, what quantity are you going to consume? You're going to picture that as, okay, now this is the amount I can hit per time. You're going to see that as your what? Your minor structure. So like I said, the major structure talks about the overall direction of the market, right? Why the minor structure gives us what? Opportunity for us to capitalize in the market. Say for example, now you miss the trend, you miss the beginning of the move in the market, right? Do you want to, let me ask you, to everybody who are listening to me, to the students in class, now let me ask you, say for example, you come to the chart now, right? And then you miss the whole move, the weekly move or the daily move, right? When the next day comes, are you telling me that you're going to get entry from the daily, or you scale down to 1 hour, 4 hours time frame? What will you do? Can you guys hear me? Yeah. So what will you do? What will you do in this case? Right? You try to get continuation, right? You're going to try to get continuation by doing what? Using the minor structure, right? Which is the substructure of the entire movement to do what? To get entry. Is that taking? So of everything I'm trying to say now, I just need you guys to understand that now structure talks about what? Market behavior, right? Talks about market behavior, right? This is one thing we need to have in our head, right? Structure talks about market behavior. Good. Now, if you know the behavior of markets, we want to know what's the practical application of this, right? So we can use the major structure to do what? The main thing we use the major structure to do is to do what? Everybody. What do we use the major structure for? We use it to frame our bias, right? And then we use the minor structure for what? For entry, right? So now, based on this understanding, I need you to take, if I were you, I'll take a screenshot of this so that I know what I'm going to be doing around here when we get to the major, what's it called? When we get to the practical aspect of it, which is the chart itself. Is that taking? So last week, I had a trade on USD CHF. Everything I'm going to show you now, if you can pay attention, follow what I'm about doing, right? I'll tell you, you probably don't even need anything after now than just, what's it called? Constant practices, all right? Or day-to-day, what's it called? Studies about what we're doing here. If you're having problem understanding price, understanding the element of price or price behavior, I'll tell you one thing. Just go back to the first 2 videos I uploaded on this same channel. Watch those videos. See, I spoke about price. I spoke about the, the element of price. I spoke about the reference point for each of the elements of price and then how to capitalize on them. I can tell you, once you understood everything I said earlier, just come back to this video, right? And pay attention to what I'm about showing you on structure. So let's go back. Let's go to our chart now and see what happened. So just like I said, remember what I said the first time? I said we have the major structure. Oops. Okay, sorry guys. Just like I said we have the major structure. So let's talk about the major structure now, right? Let's talk about the major structure. So just like I said earlier, I spoke about the major structure. And one important thing you remember from what I said about the major structure is that what? We use the major structure to get what? To frame our bias. Right? We use the major structure to do what? To frame our bias. And like I said, we use the higher time frame for our major structure. And then in my own case now, right? And in my own case now, usually I use the weekly and the daily time frame. So I had this trade on USD CHF sometimes last week, of which I even shared with my students, right? Of which I shared with my students. So let me show you what we have here. Let me show you what we have here. Just like I said. Now see, I'm not here to bore you with too many definitions or noise around here. What I just need you to understand, all right, is the logic behind whatsoever you see us do now. Is that taking? Now, I know you've had so many gurus, your mentors and teachers. They spoke about higher highs. They spoke about higher lows. You had them speak about lower highs, lower lows. You've seen all these things. Now, the question I want you to ask yourself is, despite the fact that you've learned all these things, how valuable are these things to you when it comes to application, right? When you come to your chart, can you easily spot these things out? If you can't spot it, then let me tell you the secret behind this. In all honesty, higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, lower lows, permit my words, they are just bullshit. I'm telling you, they have no use. Yes, quote me anywhere, they have no use. Now, price only do two things. Price only do two things. And the moment you can capitalize on these two things, you are made for life. I'm telling you. And now, this is the beauty of trading itself. The beauty of trading is what I'm about showing you. Just any dummy on head can draw this, a V, and then an A. Just anyone on head can draw V and A. Right? Most, especially if you've ever been through the classroom, or what's it called? The war of classroom. Is that taking? So when you come to the chart, I need you to forget all those grammar of higher highs, higher lows. I need to only concentrate on A and V when it comes to your chart. Now, you want to ask me, what's the A and V used for? Okay, it's cool. Now, whenever you come to your chart, everybody follow me. To the student in class, what do we use the A expansion for? When we come to the chart and we can spot out A expansion, what do we use it for? What's it telling us? Anyone? Sorry? For sell. So anytime we see A expansion, right, we're looking for what? Sell, right? Okay, now let me ask you, when you see V expansion, what are we looking out for here? Buy. Okay, we're looking out for buy. Now, so everyone on this channel, what I want you to note this night is this, just like I said, your higher highs, your higher lows, your lower highs, your lower lows. Just like I said earlier, they are just bullshit. You need them for nothing. The only thing you need to be able to spot on your chart when you come to this, right, is nothing but what? Just A and V. Just come to your chart, be able to spot out what? A and V. Now, based on what we just explained earlier, whenever you come to your chart, if you cannot see it clearly, right, if you cannot see it clearly that you can't write the A, you can't draw the A and the V, it simply shows that you have nothing doing in the market that day. Are you following? It simply means that you have nothing doing, right, in the market that day. So now, let me ask you, looking at this chart now, just like your gurus have told you earlier, you know, they said this is probably a higher high, and then they call this a lower low, then they call this a lower high, a lower low, a lower high. Just these are, like I said, they are just grammars, they are just noise, right? And you really don't need them for anything. But then if you come to this chart now, it's so clear, right? Even the blind can see and the deaf can hear that this, you can simply say, oh, this is what? What's this, everybody? What's this, everybody? What do we have here? We have an A. What do we have here? What do we have here? A expansion. What do we have here? What do we have here as well? A expansion, isn't it? So now, and each time we have an A expansion, what have you noticed? You notice that the market drops. So last week I came to the chart, and on getting to the chart, it was on a Sunday, evening. So I spotted out when I opened this chart, I spotted out I have an A expansion. I had an A expansion on the weekly because anytime the week opens, I love to check from the weekly what is the market saying or what was the last thing we had the previous week. So when I spotted this, I saw that, oh, we have an A expansion. So automatically in my head, I know I should be looking for sell here. I have no business trying to buy this market. So the question is, where will I buy from? The major structure now, which is the highest time frame, already told me it is sell, right? So let me show you what we have as of when we started this. What do we have? This was the week. This was the week I'm trying to make reference to. This was the week I'm trying to make reference to. Is this working? Okay, cool. So this was the week I'm trying to make reference to. So when I came, I saw that price was somewhere here. And just like if you check my previous video, I showed you how we can spot out a true breakup structure. But then I'm going to be making a new video probably the video that will follow this, I'm going to be making new video on how to spot out a proper or a true breakup structure. Now, you really don't need to worry yourself. That will be a new topic on its own. I'm going to address how you can spot out a proper breakup structure. But then before then, anytime you have an A or a V-shaped expansion, one thing you need to know is that for your A expansion to be valid, right, this low, right, must be taken out with what? A full body break. That is, price have to break it with body, right? If price fail to break this low, with full body candle, then it's not a proper what? It's not a proper A-shaped expansion, and you have nothing to do. You have nothing to do there. You need to wait and let price break with body before you do anything. So when I came, I saw that price has already broken this low with full body. Then I said, fine, I'm going to capitalize on this and I'm going to get a sell. So what did I do? I just waited for price to trade into this level. For now, you're not going to understand how I'm picking my entry, but if you stick longer around here, everything is going to be made known as ABC for you. So what did I do? I waited for price to trade into this level. Pay attention. Okay, price traded into this level. So I asked myself, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So the next thing I want to do, just like I told you, the major structure and the minor structure are for different purposes. Now, the major structure has told me that, we're to look for sell. The question is, where are we selling? Right, just like I told you, drive down from Lagos to Abuja. The question is, where are you going to in Abuja? Getting to Abuja without me giving you the location you're going to in Abuja is very useless, because you probably won't find me anywhere. But if I tell you this is where you're coming to meet me, then you know that, okay, when I get to Abuja, he has told me when I get to point A, drive to point B, and you see me at point B. That's clear enough. So the major structure already showed me that it's cool, we should be selling, right? So when I scale down one time frame lower, let's say the daily time frame, as you can see clearly, what did I have on the major structure? I have an A expansion. Is that not what we had on the major structure? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
So we had an A expansion. So what do we want to see on the time frame lower? We want to see the same A-shaped expansion. Is that clear? So now if you come down here, let me go back a little. If you come down here, right, there's a new A-shaped expansion. Okay, see, as out of this level, it's not formed yet. If you're having problem with checking if you have V-shape or A-shape expansion, one thing I need you to know is check the line chart. The line chart tells you the true story of what is happening in your chart. So what do you wait for here now? You wait for this to present you what? A new A-shape expansion. Okay, cool. So what do we have here now? You can see that the same thing we had on the weekly time frame, this O-shape expansion that was formed, is the same thing that has been formed where? It's the same thing that has been formed here. So what do I want to do? Now I want to get my entry. I can go down to probably 4 hours, 1 hour, whatsoever, and then get my entry here. So let me show you this. Let me show you this. Let me show you this. So as out of this level, right? As out of this level, let me take this off so we don't get confused. So as out of this level, what do we have? We have A-shaped expansion formed on the daily. The question is, do I want to use the daily as my entry? Probably no. Personally, no. So I'll probably just scale down to 4 hours or 1 hour time frame to do what? I want to see the same thing being formed on this one time frame low I'm going to. So on 4 hours now, what do I want to see? I want to see another A-shaped expansion. What do we have here, everybody? What do we have here?
An A-shaped expansion.
That's an A-shaped expansion. So what do we notice? The major structure, the minor structure, everything is in alignment. Everything is saying the same. So what do we need to do now? Just get an entry. Do you see us drawing high highs, high lows, lower highs, lower lows? Just like I said from the onset, all these things are just grammar, right? And then they had nothing to your pocket. I'm trying to give you the whole idea and the logic behind market structure now. What did you say? Our major structure, our minor structure. You can see that everything is in alignment. Everything syncs together, right? So what does it mean? Say, drive down from Lagos to Abuja. You've driven for, let's say, 12 hours basically, and now you're in Abuja, right? I gave you a direction that, okay, drive from Lagos to Abuja. You're able to get to Abuja because I told you where to drive to. If I just say, oh, when you get to Nigeria, just drive in Nigeria, you basically don't know where you're going to. Now, the major structure has brought you to the city where I am. The question is, what location specifically? Now you can see the weekly, the daily, the 4 hours, everything is in alignment. So what does it signify? You cannot take, what's it called? You cannot take your trade. So what did I do last week? I'll show you what happened around here. Come with me to the chart. So what do you see around here? Basically, you can see, right? Like I said, if you're having problems spotting out what's it called, the expansion on the candlestick chart, just go to the line chart, and whenever you see an A being formed or a V being formed, it has an expansion on its own. So from the 4 hours time frame, you can see an expansion has been formed. I can gladly take my entry from 4 hours. Remember what I said? I said my minor structure could either be my 4 hours time frame or the 1 hour time frame. Now, on coming to 1 hour time frame, what can you see here again? Now, this is the beauty of this system. You can see that everything, right? The weekly, the daily, the 4 hours, the 1 hour, everything is saying the same thing. The time frame, all the time frame now. The market's behavior, which is the market structure now. Everything is in alignment. What can you do? Of course, you can pull the trigger from here. Now, what do you have here? Look at this. Boom. What do we have from here? Everybody in class. What do we have from this level? What's this? We have an A expansion, right? We have an A expansion. And now, what's our take from this class? Everybody mute yourself. What's our take from this class? Like I said, your higher highs, your higher lows, your lower highs, your lower low, they're all bullshit. Now, this is one thing your guru told you. And the thing they didn't tell you is that forex trading can be made a bit simpler. In fact, far simpler than the way they've complicated it. And how? Just come to your chart and be able to spot what? Spot your V-shaped expansion. And what do we say V-shaped expansion is used for? We use V-shaped expansion for buy, right? This was what I said when we started this class. V-shaped expansion is used for buy, and then the A-shaped expansion is used for what? Sell, right? Now, this is what I want you to go with from this class. That in all honesty, you don't need higher highs. You don't need to come to your chart and start drawing as if you're an architect or you're an artist. Just come to your chart, spot out A and V-shaped expansion, then you're good. And believe me, let me just give you a trick or a magic, right? You're going to see how price reacted from a specific level. The question is, how do I go about this? How do I know that I'm going to look for sell from this region? Okay, in our next video or in our subsequent videos, if you stick long around here enough, you're going to see, can you see the way the price dropped massively? Right, on this particular trade, I made more than 5 RR from this trade, right, in less than 3 hours. Now, this is the whole idea behind what? Structure, right? This is the whole idea behind market structure. I'm able to do this because I know the overall direction of market, right? And you can see, look at how massively price sold to this level. Price pulled back again and then still sold. So for everybody who's trying to catch a buy around here, what happened? We got burnt. Do you see us labeling higher highs, higher lows around here? No. All we just need is what? Come to the chart, spot out our V and A shape expansion, get the logic behind it, and then we're good. If you enjoyed this class, you got value from this class, I'll tell you do one thing. Click on the the like button, share this link to your friends and family, tell them to join, right? And below this video, you're going to find our Telegram channel, you're going to find our Twitter handle. Make sure you subscribe to all our channels. As I give out daily calls, I give out weekly calls, I do market review for my free community members. And if you want to go ahead outside of this, you want to have a one-on-one class with me, you're free, you're welcome. I'm your tutor, and my name is Chax Abikin. Thanks for coming.